founded by Israelis. It's really my belief that the best companies in Israel are as great as the best companies that are being founded here in the U.S. And luckily for me, there are many fewer VCs that are focusing on those companies. But today we've got 4 great companies. 1 is Israeli, 3 aren't Israeli. As I focus on Israel, I was happy to know that I was familiar with our first company, which is our Israeli company, and that's Genie. And one of the things about Israel that really excites me, I was a media analyst on Wall Street, and I do a lot of investing in that space. And one of the things Israel is incredibly strong at is broadly imaging. So that's satellite imaging, that's video, that's photos, and that's really the next emerging computing platform, which is virtual reality and augmented reality. There are going to be a lot of really successful Israeli companies coming out of that space. And I've met Genie. They've got some really, really cool technology. Many people in this room probably have never seen an AR, VR company until the last couple weeks when Pokemon Go taught everybody what AR, most of the world, what augmented reality is. And now Genie is here, Noah's here to tell us about what Genie's doing, and it's really cool. So Noah?
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Noah. First, I want to thank Alon, Moti, and the rest of the crew from Shibolet. Also, Bank Leumi, Toda. With an opening introduction, by law, I should sit down because there's nothing more to say. So, what is Genie? Genie is what we call a digital reality company, which basically is a nice way of saying VR, AR, and all the hybrids between them. And when we started a couple years ago, we were looking at what would be the main industries that would benefit from the implementation and the usage of these technologies. And after thinking and research, we decided that we're going to focus on the design industry. Okay? The design industry, which is the home decor industry, residential and the commercial, is a $300 billion industry a year, and it's growing at 5%, and that's the way it is. The other great thing about this industry is it hasn't changed fundamentally since the days of the pyramid. So you think I'm kidding. So how many of you renovated their houses? How many of you had samples of products for the kitchen, for their tiles for the floor, and then you have to go and you have to look at your kitchen cabinet frames, and then you have to go to another company and you get a $100 catalog that weighs 3 pounds to look at 4,000 different patterns. And then you have to do this. This is my countertop, this is my backsplash, this is my floor, and this is my cabinet. Honey, do you like it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay? So if you look at it from this point of view, right? This is a picture from one of the interior design agencies here in New York. This entire shelf are these catalogs, okay? They have 5 rows of these shelves. Fabric, more fabric, glass, plastic, wall coverings, wall finishing, door treatments, window treatments, thousands and thousands and thousands of products. That's professional. This is residential. You want to go buy a countertop for your kitchen. You see these racks? Caesarstone, Corian, Cambria. Every rack costs $1,000. There are 10,000 showrooms in America. That's just the cost of putting the rack. Then you gotta replace it, replenish it. So you have these companies that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to try to get to a point that you'll be able to actually see the product in your house. The problem is, this is very hard when you put it on your table and you go like this. Yeah, that'll work with the kitchen. You can't really see it. So you have all these brochures, samples, showrooms, renderings to try to overcome this problem. So you have 2 problems. You have the consumers that don't have the ability to actually see products in their space, and manufacturers that have no way to get to you when you are looking to buy something for your house. Just think about it. A manufacturer in Italy sells to a wholesaler that sells to a distributor that gives it to the showroom where you go to visit. Now think about it. If I took my phone and put all this in here, how much money did I just save? Okay? Now, if I took this phone and gave you the ability to visualize this product in real time in your house, then I do away with 80% of the samples. And when you have this phone, every time you pull up the app, the solution, you pick one product and you put it in your living room virtually. At that point, my manufacturer that is sitting in Italy knows that Mrs. Smith in Chattanooga, Tennessee looked at sample 301 paper, and they can interact with them directly. So basically, we are revolutionizing the industry. We are actually creating the link that today doesn't exist, and solving two of the biggest problems of the industry, the visualization and the communication. So here are pictures. Guys, I want you to understand what you're looking at. This is a car park in Midtown, taken with a phone. This is the before. This is manipulation in real time in the car park, laying out a floor. I want you to notice the accuracy of the layout. Do you see the tiles? The aspect ratio is perfect. And do you see the reflections of the light? See, one of the most important things for you or for professional designers, when they're designing and they're showing you a beautiful sketch in 3D that they did in Photoshop, it's perfect. But your house is not perfect, the lighting conditions are not perfect, the road isn't perfect, your patio has cracks in it. You really want to see it the way it is. Another great example, this is a hotel patio. For them to go to that today, they gotta look at samples, they gotta go to an interior designer. With ours, all they have to do is take a picture and start flushing through the collection, say enter, send it, post it on Instagram, Snapchat, send it to the mother-in-law, make a decision. But I'm serious, I'm serious. I mean, and this point I can't overstate. The process of e-commerce is towards visual. Once we used to buy products, we used to write letters, then we wrote email, then we did Twitter. Now the new generation only does Snapchat and Instagram. It's all visual. 10 years ago, no one in this room ever thought they would buy from a small Chinese manufacturer product. Why? Because you never get the product and you never see your money. Came Alibaba and you don't think twice about it. In 10 years from now, we will do our entire e-commerce, not entire, big one, a lot of it using visual images of the products and their placement. Think about it. I can lay out 3 or 4 of these different things, press buy, and the orders go to the right manufacturers. This is the future, and it's happening now. And Pokemon Go did a great work for us. Another example, Crate and Barrel just around the corner here. We changed the countertop, the wall, this is all real time. But I want you to look at one other thing. Do you see the veins in the table? When you take a sample like this, there are no veins and you can't see them. So even if you get a sample, it doesn't help you. So there are a lot more advantages in having your full product in a virtual reality or augmented reality. What's our market strategy? Without getting too much into detail, we're taking 2 avenues. One, we're going through the B2B road, manufacturers pushing it out to their sales force, and we actually become a virtual salesperson, and then you eliminate a lot of overhead on that side. And on the B2C side, you make it viral, like Instagram, Snapchat, where people are starting to play with it. They're designing their house, they're sending it to their friends, you're doing a contest, who's gonna do Buckingham Palace. I mean, and it works. These are things that are already happening. And then again, the cost, I can get into it, but basically those are the 2 channels. Looking at the competitive landscape, which is really, really interesting. Today you have 2 options. Either you go as a business platform, or you go on the technical side of doing the AR. No one has been able to put the 2 together and create a business platform that is also a visualization platform. And that's what we're doing. And that's what makes us unique. Revenues, again, we can talk about this later, but just so you get a sense of how the numbers are derived, We have the two sources, B2B, B2C. Total number of companies, as you can notice, they're very, very small. There's tens of thousands of manufacturers. Just so you'll know, before we even did a launch, before anything, we already have 12 companies signed up. One of them is a 600 million euro Italian porcelain manufacturer. They have 8 companies. They have no way to distribute and demonstrate their products here in the United States. They don't want to hire 300 people, and they don't want to go to 10,000 showrooms because their porcelain is so expensive they can't even cut it up to samples. We are actually the only tool that is available to them other than word of mouth to show their product in the C world. So these are the numbers, and again, it's software as a service. We go by